We will see. Take two. So, welcome back, everyone. Hold on, I gotta think. Today, we're going to be talking about the automotive triangle. Cheap or affordable, good, maybe reliable would mix in with that, and then fast, and obviously, performance in general. So really the kind of saying is you can pick two. Any car only meets two of those. And so right now we're in my current car, which is a 2019 Audi S5. Personally, I would say this car is fast and it is good, which means it is not cheap. For example, my rear brakes were starting to wear $2,500 just to do the rear brakes. I obviously said no. I'll do it myself. This car is kind of one of those cars where if you're not going to be doing the majority of the maintenance yourself, even oil changes, it's $200 or more, then really, it's hard to recommend.
It's just a lot of money on maintenance. My prior car, V6 Dodge Challenger, it's a Dodge. I also did the work myself, but they charge quite a bit less. Really comes down to longevity. Now, when you buy something like an Audi, I will say they treat you a lot better at the dealership. It's a lot more premium.
So what you just watched was essentially something I think a lot of people go through that love cars. You got to make the hard decision of whether you sell a car or keep a car. If you sell it, what car should you buy? And it can be maddening at some points. About a year ago, I sold probably my favorite car I've owned, which was a 2006 Porsche Cayman S. That car really ticked all the boxes for me. It was probably the most exciting, enjoyable car, and I learned a lot owning that car. I learned how to rebuild brakes, I learned how to rebuild suspension, how to boroscope an engine, how to diagnose problems, how to set a car up for track a little bit. And it was great. The problem was that the car was such an event that it felt wrong to drive it every day. I drove it every day for a little while and it started to feel like a normal car. I didn't get to stretch its legs, to rev the engine out as much on my daily commute on the highway. And it really felt wrong. It felt like the car deserved to be more of an event. It deserved to be taken out on special occasions, and really enjoyed, not driven to work every day. You certainly could have done it, but I made the decision to sell that car and at the time keep the Audi that I was driving at the beginning of this video. I kind of alluded to why I decided to sell the Audi. Financial reasons was probably primary, but the big second reason I decided to sell that car was that it was boring. Okay, so let me try to show. This is driving engagement. Downshift. Downshift, right? Downshift. Exciting. The problem with cars these days, a lot of cars, is that they're all fast. They're all very fast. But they are not engaging. And a lot of that is the manufacturers trying to build cars for the largest possible audience to sell as many cars as they can. So I understand from a market perspective. However, what that means for people that love cars is we're getting a lot of muted and complicated cars that are either difficult or just expensive to work on. Part cost is crazy, and the engineering is amazing, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of talented engineers that go into building these cars, but again, even, for example, Porsche, I love Porsche, the new 911s, I've never driven one, so I can't say from a driving dynamics, but the look and feel and the complication of it is very much more of a Audi product, Volkswagen Audi Group product, which is fine. They're still great cars, and they have to leverage pulling parts from different companies to be able to make these kind of vehicles. It's more of a financial thing and then a regulation thing, right? Older cars had a lot less regulations, which means a lot more freedom for the car designers and engineers to really play with different ideas and thoughts and designs. These days, a lot of cars start to look very similar, and that's not the manufacturer's fault. It's the regulations that they need to meet. It tends to mean that the cars converge onto a single solution. The main thing I'm getting at with the Audi specifically is, in a lot of modern cars, they're so fast that you get to experience that acceleration a few times for a short period of time, and then you either get a ticket or you put yourself or other people in danger. The main thing I'm trying to say here is that speed does not equal pleasure. Speed and fun are not correlated one-to-one. And I think that a lot of new cars are using speed to try to elevate the fun of the car, because every other aspect or quality of that car is pulling away fun. So you have to go back to a car like the Cayman I used to have to get a car that's more raw, more engaging, and more fun. So I've had to make a decision. And the decision I made was to sell the Audi. I essentially sold it for a $500 loss. So over the course of the 2 years that I owned it, it cost me about $14,000 to own the car. And that's from depreciation and interest. So we go back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the video, the automotive triangle, right? So it's a reminder that Audi is fast and good, but it's expensive. This car is slow, but it's good and inexpensive, right? This car is about 1/4 of the power that the Audi had in about 1/4 the price. And I almost guarantee it is going to be 4 times more fun. So in summary, the next video that I do here with this car, I'm going to be cleaning the car top to bottom, and I'll walk you around and show you basically all the work that needs to be done on this and what the kind of the scope of the project looks like. I've already ordered a ton of parts. There's a few more parts I think I need to order, but we're not going to know until I start digging into it. And I've got some more long-term projects to do as well. So this video is really just an introduction to kind of set the stage of what set the stage for what this video series is going to be. Really excited to bring you guys along for the journey. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. This is a great time to do it. Like the video if you like it. Leave a comment. Let me know what I can do better. Let me know if there's something I've talked about here that you want me to talk more about. But anyway, this is the decision I've made. We will find out if it was a good one together. I may be watching this in a year regretting everything, and that's fine. I will be open with you and explain that if that's the case. But I'm really looking forward to it. I don't think I'm going to regret it. I think this is going to be quite the journey. And again, I'm really happy to be able to share it with you guys. So with that, I guess let me just explain what the vehicle is. So this is my friend's 1985.5 Porsche 944. This is in sapphire metallic. It is a Canadian car. So it's got US spec bumpers, but it's got a kilometer speedometer, and it has some French on the dash, which is pretty interesting. So it's quite the unique car. I know Porsche made a lot of 944s. This paint gets 3 out of 5 paint cans on the Porsche rarity spectrum, or whatever it's called. So kind of cool. There's definitely lots of patina, as Porsche people would say. It's got a lot of character. And yeah, so it's going to be a hell of a project. Really excited to get my hands dirty with this, start tearing into this. There's a lot of work to do.